Hey all, Dipro here from Monday. Today I'm going to walk you through the Monday CRM, which is one of our Monday products. I really recommend signing up for a trial of the Monday CRM so you can understand how the platform works. We do offer a 14-day free trial. And if you're an app developer, we also offer a free testing account for you to use for building your apps. There's a few features that Monday CRM has that work management doesn't and that your app can take advantage of. The first is, of course, the emails and activities feature or the activity timeline. This is very unique to the CRM. Any activities that happen through the CRM, whether that's emails that go out, sequences, and so on, they all get added to this timeline. It is accessible via API, which means that your apps can build on top of it, whether that's sending data into the timeline or extracting that data for reporting capabilities. And it's really, really well integrated with the tool, which means that basically tons of the features that the CRM enables gets pushed into the timeline. In addition to that, the CRM has a lot of automated email capabilities. We have a beta feature called Sequences, which allows you to automate email sends so that if a new lead comes in, you can send them an email, a welcome email, and then after 14 days, another email. You can also send out mass emails. So if you want to send out 500 emails in one shot, you can do that as well. And finally, we also have quotes and invoice capabilities. So in terms of functionality, there's a lot more functionality and richer functionality for sales teams that lives inside the Monday CRM, which means that your app can then integrate even further with their core work processes. So the first benefit of the Monday CRM is untapped potential. This is one of our fastest growing products, which means a lot of new customers and a lot of customers hungry for new functionality and to solve workflow challenges for their sales teams. In addition to the untapped potential, Monday CRM also gives you a very specific use case that you can build your apps on top of. There's a ton of software tools that sales teams demonstratedly enjoy using because of specific features, and there's a lot of opportunity to bring some of those features into the Monday CRM by building an app and bundling it in the app marketplace. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So when you open the Monday CRM, you'll see a couple of different workflows here. We have our leads board, deals board, accounts, client projects, contacts, activities, and a sales dashboard. Okay, each of these workflows is a board, which is a Monday lingo for this view right here that you see. A board is a couple of different things, okay? So primarily, if you're an app developer, you can think of a board as a data store, okay? Right here, I've got my leads board, and each item on this board represents a lead, represents somebody that my team has to reach out to try and sell my product, to try and understand if my product is a good fit for them. What makes Monday special is that behind each of these boards is an actual business process. And this is where the customizability of Monday really shines and where your app can really make a difference. You can actually create automations, add visualizations on top of them, and add various kinds of rich workflows to make this simple leads board actually a much more complex and functional tool for managing your sales process, okay? And I'll show you a couple of examples for this. We have leads, we have deals, and we have a couple of others. And why don't we start with the leads board? So I have actually taken this board from what you get with the CRM, and I've leveled it up a little bit in a couple of different ways, and I'll show you how. So the first thing I did was I actually imported a lot of dummy data into this board, okay? And I did that by getting a CSV of some data, and then I went in here and I hit import leads. And what you can do then is you can import from CSV. You can also import from a few other sources here if you have data in another CRM. And users can not just import the data, they can then choose to handle duplicates. You can map data into these various columns. If a column doesn't exist on your board, you can create a new one and basically get the data from the source into Monday in the cleanest way possible. Once I did that, I actually had all of this data in kind of one block, and I separated it out by status, right? And I did that in these different groups. Now you'll see that I have the different lead stages or the deal stages here as groups. And just to make things a little bit easier, you can add an automation so that when you change a status, it actually moves to the right place. So I'm going to click on automate. and I'm going to add an automation here, and I'm going to say when status changes to something, specifically when the status changes to attempted to contact, then move item to attempted group. And when I create this automation, now every time I click attempted to contact, this item is going to move over to that group. Okay, and this is really, really useful to not just reduce grunt work, but also add some consistency to your workflow. If we have 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 people using the same board, you may end up with situations where data is maybe not corrupted, but at least not matched. You get messy situations. So using automations to just keep data validated is really, really useful. As an app developer, you can actually create your own automations, and you can add them to the CRM right here. All right, so I just showed you an automation, and actually one of the really great automations that I've set up here moves data from the leads board to the deals board. Every time, let's say I take an attempted lead and I make them qualified, my automation will actually take that data and copy it over to the leads board. So the person who I just qualified, Sarah Williams, they get created in the active deals section of the deals board with the stage new, and now I can fill out the various columns for it and start working on it. Now that Sarah is on my deals board, I can show you a couple more features of the Monday CRM. So when I click on any of these items, we are going to see the deal summary page. And so this shows where Sarah is in the deal stages. Also have more information about the deal right here, which I can actually edit. So if the deal value changes to 45K, I can update that here. And I can even email Sarah directly from my CRM. And then in the emails and activities section, I can also send emails to Sarah if I want to. So I can click new email and directly email them from the CRM without switching contexts. If I maybe met Sarah on a Zoom call, or I wanted to log an activity that's outside of an email, I can also click add activity, and I can add some meeting notes, a call summary, and I can also create some custom activities here as well. So let's say I want to add a meeting with Sarah. I can set when it happened. Let's say it happened yesterday at 1 p.m. I can say call went well. I covered the main features. I can write a meeting here. I can also set some templates if I wanted to, and I can also mention people so that they get notified. When I do that, I will get this meeting added to the activity timeline. Any emails that I send will also be added to this activity timeline so that I have a unified view of all the different touch points that my team has had with this specific lead. What's really great about this activity timeline is that it is accessible using API, which means that you can access this data from your apps. You can extend this data using your apps, and you can also add information to the timeline based on your app, right? So let's say you have an app that sends out email campaigns on a regular basis and gives folks a lot of customization there. Every time you send out an email, you can actually add that a record of that to the relevant timelines for the users who are affected. So this is really, really useful for any applications that are trying to integrate really closely and strongly with the Monday CRM. Now, we've talked a lot about the different features that the Monday CRM has, but what are the kinds of features that you can build for the CRM? This is where the Monday Apps framework comes in. As you can see, Monday has a lot of different real estate in the platform. You have this like board. You can actually add views on top of this board. When you go to a dashboard, you have widgets that are available, and your app can actually be embedded in a ton of these spaces. Okay, and I'll just give you a few different examples. If you want to create an app that manipulates data on one specific board, you can create a board view. Okay, so here's an example of a sales prioritization chart, which actually looks at all the different deals that you have available and which ones you should invest in a little bit more and which ones you should drop. This is data that this is running off data that you're pulling from the Monday API, and you can actually visualize a lot of stuff through this. You can even create a UI to actually interact with data. here, for example, every time I click one of these items, it actually opens the item view. So this is a board view feature, right? It's great for visualizing data on one specific board. If you wanted to summarize data across multiple boards, we do offer dashboard widgets where you can essentially embed the same data inside of this specific box. I'll give you an example of that. Here is a pipeline conversion app that is bundled with the CRM, which basically shows you what is the conversion rate across different parts of your pipeline. This is an iframe that's embedded inside of Monday, and our app framework gives you a couple of different ways that you can get data from the parent context, so you can understand what boards am I connected to, access the Monday API, and use that data to actually generate something really useful for customers. I want to show you a few more places where you can add your app, and I'm going to use our kitchen sink template for that. So when you click on this plus icon, you can see apps right here, and you can actually install what we call an object view app. An object view is exactly what it sounds like. It's an object in the left pane. So it's a new kind of entity in Monday. So this gives you access to the entire page, which is really, really useful for building apps that live outside of the board and are not necessarily connected to Monday data in that way. So you can very easily imagine that this, instead of this being kitchen sink examples, maybe this is a cold calling dashboard or cold calling cockpit, okay? Which is essentially, maybe you can create a UI here which allows you to make calls for SDRs or sales team or sales teams that are a little bit earlier in the process. I've been showing you views so far, which are essentially visualizations that are embedded inside the Monday platform. But we do also offer a couple of actions, which are one-off dialogues that pop up and allow you to do things, right? I'll give you an example. I'll go back to my deals board and let me select a couple of different items here. And you'll see that there's an apps icon available right here. When I click on apps, I can select one of the apps that I've installed. In this case, I'm going to just show you the kitchen sink app so that you can see the kind of real estate that you can work with. Okay, so you end up with this dialog right here. You can present any kind of UI to the customer. Maybe you want to import this data or export this data to PDF or Excel. In addition to the batch actions, you can also create apps for individual items. So you click on here and you can add an app. Right, so this is also great for very similar use cases to batch actions, but maybe there's only one item you wanna do this with, and you can do that on the group level as well. These are really, really useful for export capabilities, especially, or for anything where you need to actually do something with 10 things at once, but do it on command rather than in an automated way. These are all different capabilities that come out of the box with the Monday CRM and that you can build for today. So I really recommend going and playing around with the different app features that are available to you and checking out our welcome apps repository as well. All right, there you have it. Hopefully this video was a little bit useful to you. As always, you can contact our team via the Monday community. So if you have any questions, please do reach out on the community and we're happy to help. Do check out the other videos in our YouTube channel as well, because we do have a little bit of additional content around the CRM. And of course, go to our GitHub to check out some of the welcome apps so that you can start building something with very little effort.